The Pistons are the basketball champions of the world.
Detroit, it's time. It's playoff time, Detroit. Let's go to work.
Shout out Detroit. I got to buff up, you know what I'm saying? Detroit, I'm all the way in. Detroit Pistons, I'm all the way in. Let's do it.
Welcome, Pistons fans. We are the best POD in the 313. This is the Buffs On podcast. We're going to do a quick one today. We're just going to talk a little bit of Pistons rumors, and then some Eurobasket a little later on. But let's just start it off right away with Pistons rumors. Uh, Malik Beasley, our main guy, who is still a question on this team today, paid off his apartment, his debts to his apartment, and he's back living in Detroit. And he was just in Rome over the past couple weeks. And does anybody know who was in Rome with him? Who went out to go see Malik Beasley?
The
Our
Pope?
7 foot center and our star point guard.
Yep, our terrible twosome, soon to be the best duo in the league. Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren went to go see Malik Beasley and do some recruiting uh, out in Rome. How do you guys feel about that? You think that matters?
I think it matters a lot, but I think with Beasley, he just loves leaving like cryptic hints as to what he's gonna do. It's the off season. NBA news is slow. Whenever I go on the Pistons Reddit, it's like something from his Snapchat story where somebody like swipes up and says like, "Oh, so you're coming back?" And like he just makes a certain face. He's like, "Did you know something?" He just loves leaving cryptic messages. I think he's really been enjoying this process. Although probably it's been stressful. He's really enjoying it right now, leaving the suspense in the air right now. But I do think that there is something if he moved back into his apartment, which by the way I think is like just a weird thing to like have as public knowledge and have as a news report. I just found that kind of weird. Let a guy move into a place, but the fact he moved back into his apartment, I do think means something. And I think the fact that he did meet up with Jalen Duren and Kate in Rome, I think specifically means something. I know Kate spit to him and like, listen, you come back for a year. We added Duncan Robinson, like the depth we'll have. It's just gonna be unreal. We can make a serious push this year. Of course, I'm a believer. I'm gonna say it means so much. It could mean absolutely nothing. They could just be homies. But I'm gonna take the vote where I think this means everything, and let's just confirm it. Beasley's coming back.
Uh,
Yeah, that would be the best possible news, I think. Part of me thinks he's just gonna like do all these things, all these breadcrumbs as you call them, and then go to the Nets for 3 years, and just be like, that was fun. He's seems like that could kind of troll a little bit, but it's only good news, right? We saw Wemby have like a crazy Instagram type of summer. Cade and JD are not quite at that level, in notoriety wise, but just to be in Europe, it's a great time to be here. And the competition, if they're practicing, probably isn't that good. Speaking of, I saw a video of Tim Hardaway Jr. and
Yeah,
Malik Beasley hugging. Was that in Europe or was that back in the US?
I think that aren't those the Chris Brickley runs, like
I
the
think those are back in the US and like some pro runs, yeah. But that looked like
Okay,
a very, very intense hug, man. They were wrapped up,
that
fucking
put a
moving
smile on
around.
my face. That made me so happy to see.
I just think whether it means something or not, he can definitely get more money if he went to the Nets or something, but like it's very clear that the Pistons and the Pistons guys are the most active recruiters of Malik Beasley right now. Like they're really making him feel wanted here. Like they really want him back on this squad. And heck, so do all the Pistons fans. Uh for sure. But yeah, I just love that we're going out and we're trying to go get him. And Tobias Harris tweeted about it
Ooh,
too.
what did Tobias tweet?
I don't remember exactly, but it was something like in the vein of like they're getting back over here. So he's loved here, and
If Unk is talking, we gotta listen.
it's good that to make somebody feel loved and wanted, because it is a business, but at the same time, these guys all do go through wars together and do become a bit of a family. And it's good to know that they're all trying to get their boy back.
I mean, and he loves Detroit, right?
And he loves Detroit, yeah. Um, on those two guys, Cade and Duran, they did a little bit of other stuff. Cade was on Jimmy
Yeah.
Fallon. I always mix up Kimmel and Fallon because I watch neither of those. But I just thought it was cool that just, to get some like national media. This is like his second time on there, I feel like. He had that commercial for a battery store the last
Oh,
time, but just like
yeah.
um national media push, I feel like this is somewhat at least coming from the NBA that Cade is an American-born, American-made star that I think the NBA should want to get behind, and it seems like they are a little bit more.
I think it's cool also that I do believe that was recorded. I don't want to misplace the venue, but that was recorded in Detroit.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. And like
this is
they
also
could have gotten like Jared Goff, right? You could have gone anywhere, but they went with Cade, which I think is a great sign.
absolutely, and it's great that obviously outside of basketball that's occurring in Detroit. I think that's really great. And a special moment was Cade giving Jimmy. I'm just gonna call him Jimmy. I think it's Jimmy Fallon. The pair of buffs. Welcome Jimmy Fallon. You're officially part of the Buffs on. Whether you know it or not. A lovely little cultural moment right there. I thought that was cool.
Yeah. And then the other thing to come out of those two guys is some height news from Jalen Duren, who I feel like was 6'9", 6'10" last year, kind of an undersized, really athletic center. But there seems to be some word that he is now 7'1".
Where did that word come from? I'm just
I'll
gonna
tell you.
say.
Mike Curtis stood next to him at Summer League. I believe it was Mike Curtis. And Mike Curtis said Jalen Duren looks considerably taller. He looks 7'1". On top of that, the sources are more so people seeing him as like, for example, in Italy, and they're like, holy crap, Duren's taller. The only official, I guess, first-hand account we would have is Mike Curtis, who is a Pistons beat writer, saying that Duren looks evidently taller. I think this is exciting. I think that the potential for him to really grow defensively if he's freaking 3 inches taller. Um,
Oh yeah.
how incredible
Yeah,
would that be? And, you've thrown out the Giannis, like the Giannis prototype where you just get it and run. Hey, Giannis was what, 6'8", 6'9", 6'10" when he came in the league?
yeah,
Uh, he's
taller.
he's considerably grown. I think we're really high on Pistons juice, especially over the long off season. But like, if our beat writer is saying this dude got taller, dude who sees him every day, he had to have grown a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I'd love to believe this. I mean, we talked about it a lot last year. There were certain matchups that Duran would have trouble with. I'm thinking like specifically like Jonas Valanciunas or something. Just those centers that were just humongous, and he is just like a little too small for him, even though he is a crazy athlete. If he was 7'1", it's just it's game over. You have the most athletic center in the NBA who's 7'1". Uh, um, that his skill set, even then, if you push him up those couple inches, it becomes even more rare and special. But I don't know if I buy it all the way. I mean, Mike Curtis
Yeah.
is what? I don't know how tall he is, but he's probably sub 6 foot. And it just when you're a normal person and a normal heighted or a little bit short person standing next to someone who is 6'9", even you're like, wow, this guy is humongous. And it's like, are you gonna be able to tell? Big difference. Like you could tell someone who's 5'4" that the person that's 6'9" next to them is 7 feet tall, and they're like, I buy it, I believe it. Like, are they gonna be able to really discern that? But
It it's also the off season and it's his job to get clicks.
yeah,
And
okay.
like I mean, and he's like a young guy. Men grow at that age. It's not unheard of they grow an inch or
You
two.
grew, didn't you, Gabe?
I
Didn't
did
you
grow a
grow
little
like an
bit when
inch?
I was like 20, 21. Like I grew another inch. So like, even if he grows half an inch, right?
Still
That's a
something.
positive inch. Yeah.
Uh,
Something else though, like I don't I'm like 6'5". I do like to wear shoes sometimes, like the fat soled shoes, like some Nikes, like that put me like 2 inches taller or something. He could have just been wearing some like Tims or something to have a little heel on them.
Um, Theoretically, though, this is something we've talked about in our dark times. How Jalen Duren needs, I forget the biomechanical term, but he really needs to load up to jump to his maximum like jumping potential. And if he theoretically just, if we're talking ideally, if he did add some height to himself, the ability to like not have to be so reliant on a big jump to get his like maximum potential, like defensively, like you said, specific matchups like random big centers like Valanciunas will only make it easier for him. I guess only time will tell, and it's what, a month, less than a month for preseason, couple of weeks.
Yeah, training camp
Yeah.
before then, that's when the measurements should come in.
All right.
So we
We'll
should
keep
we
our eyes
should
out
know
for those.
soon. Um, Yeah, even though NBA heights are
You,
notoriously
what would
uh,
you most be looking for in terms of measurements? Like we're getting height, wingspan, weight. Entire roster. Are you looking for Duran weight? I mean Duran
oh
wingspan?
yeah, at this point, no, I'm looking at Duran height. Like, there's nothing else I want to see. Maybe Asar Thompson grew a little bit, but I haven't heard anything about that. But this is what we're hearing about. This is the one thing I really care about. Um, yeah, Duran
Ron
height.
Holland weight maybe.
Yep.
Ron Holland
Yep.
weight would be
Give me
big
Ron and
too.
Asar weight.
Like legitimately he could grow. Like as an 18, 19-year old, you can still grow.
As a dude, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so those guys were in Europe. Speaking of
Anything else?
Europe,
Yep.
Eurobasket 2025 was this past month. Germany, woo, wins again. That's two straight golds for them in international competition, having won the last FIBA World Cup.
They did
Um,
get fourth in the Olympics.
they did get, I mean, yeah, but FIBA World Cup, Eurobasket, first place. Dennis Schroeder is really absolutely making a name for himself. Um, Do we want to break? There are, I guess I spoiled it a little bit with Dennis Schroeder, but everybody knew that one. Gabe says that he has a list of Pistons that were playing in Eurobasket, and I think Valley and I are going to try to guess
The
how many
remaining.
is it?
I have four. I would not be surprised if there's more. You know, I kind of forgot about the early entry teams, but they probably don't have as many NBA players. And yeah, these guys are, yeah. So we'll see. I know, okay, so yes, you have Schroeder.
I
He won
know
MVP, so,
well
shout
deserved.
out.
I heard a beat writer say Dennis Schroeder might have to be in the Hall of Fame conversation because of his European accolades, and I was all for it.
He might
Um,
have to, yeah.
one guy I know for sure is Dervitas Servitas.
Yep. He
Which
actually started most games
I
for
know.
Lithuania. He
I
was
could
not
not
very
believe,
good, but
I could not believe that.
Um,
Lithuania was pretty fun.
Tech 19,
Yeah, of course. Scored
Uh,
Moses playing for Italy.
the current he had a short-lived Euroball record with 37 points, which soon got broken by Lowry and Doncic, but he's a flamethrower that game.
he dropped
That's
39, and it's the Italian record. I
oh,
misspoke.
39, my bad.
The
Yeah.
sole Italian record, which is pretty cool. Speaking of Italy, Danilo Gallinari,
Yep. Still played.
that's
Um,
four, isn't it?
That's
or
four. I mean
was
that's my
Procida on the
He
Italian
was.
roster?
Gabriel Procida was on the bottom of the roster.
I don't think he ever got on the court.
Maybe
But
this
yeah.
team, yeah.
Does he count as a Pistons if he was just overseas?
Got drafted.
Same with that one random big man we drafted that one year.
Um,
Took Blake's number after him. I can't even remember the guy's
the
name.
Eastern European guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was in
I
there.
He
Yeah,
played some
maybe.
summer league for us, I think. He might have been out there. Um, anyone else? I don't think so.
Well, Gabe doesn't know, and I don't think
Yeah,
I
no,
know.
yeah, I don't know.
Um, but yeah, Eurobasket. Eurobasket was pretty entertaining basketball. We all caught a couple games, watched some highlights. Again, yeah, Germany, our home country, our second home country, took it home. Dennis Schroeder has led Germany to more titles, European titles for Germany than Dirk Nowitzki did. So take that as you may. Um, I think the Magic probably should have picked him up if they're going. They have the
Yeah,
rest of the they
exactly.
have the rest of the German national team. They might as well have picked up Schroeder. But I want to talk about, or we want to talk about more about guys that aren't currently in the NBA, guys that don't have a roster, and guys that we think from Eurobasket maybe should get a shot in the league.
And specifically, we have 14 out of 15 roster spots. Obviously, we anticipate and we hope that that's Beasley. But in my perspective, I'm thinking theoretically a guy that could fit into this Pistons roster that is not in the NBA and shined at the Euro League, at the Euro basket.
Oh, okay. I was thinking more around the league, but yeah, okay. Last spot on the Pistons roster. Who's your guy, Bailey?
A guy that's actually been in the NBA for 3 seasons across 3 different teams, and that's Isaac Bonga. Isaac Bonga was the youngest ever German to go in the NBA at age 18. He was 16 when he went pro in Germany, which is a very massive thing for me. He stands at 6'8", and he was always listed as a point guard. But he seems to have really transitioned out of that into a more off-ball role. His 7-foot wingspan, I think, really helps that. I watched a bit of Germany when I really was able to watch anything, and he's a very, very good defender. Him and Franz Wagner
Yeah.
were terrorizing on the wing in terms of their defense, and obviously his 7 foot wingspan really, really helps him. He still has a skinny frame, but I don't really think that's too important. And when you look at the prototype bill of the NBA, what's been the trend in the last decade? It's 3-and-D players. And Isaac Bonga shot 45% from the 3-point line in the Eurobasket, including an absolutely monster 4 for 4 against Turkey in the final, where he had a great game to help Germany get to that title. Isaac Bonga, to me, would play off ball as he did for Germany. Obviously, theoretically, that would be his role if he was on any NBA team, and specifically the Pistons. I think this is a glue guy who can play pretty much 1 through 3, maybe 4 in a small ball lineup, and vice and in turn he can defend those positions. And that was really shown in the Eurobasket. I think players who really are in the NBA and go overseas again, I think they grow so much, and then I think they just become such better all-around players, and you learn so much playing a different brand of basketball. I think we've seen it a lot, and I think that's also why we see players like top of my head, Nikola Mirotic prefer to go back and not go back to the NBA. So would he ever want to go back? I don't know, but I very much believe, based on what I saw from the Eurobasket, that Isaac Bonga and along with so many other players have the ability to be in the NBA, and I think Bonga could be a very solid rotational piece for genuinely any team in the NBA, considering he's a mainstay in the German national team, which has seen such great success internationally. Any
Yeah,
opinions on Bonga?
he's pretty. He like you mentioned 1 through 3. Watching those games, he's like a 3-and-D wing. Like his when his feet are set, his shot looks really like rectangular. It looks really clean. But he is not an on the ball guy. He had some nice like pump fake drive and dunks. Really good defender. But yeah, so I mean to have him as like your kind of Fontecchio role guy, I think that's a good combination right there. That's kind of like his role would be in the NBA. And I think he could make 8 million next year in the NBA if he wanted to. But he's found success in Europe. If he shoots the way he did, of course he could have another 10 years in the league. But yeah, that's I think for me the number one guy as well.
Yeah, just that like the prototype of player that he is. I mean, he shot what? Like he was like a 30%, sub 30% three-point shooter when he was in the league for the first time, has clearly made some like significant jumps in his jumper. And just as a guy, like a breaking case of emergency, guys do go down. He like I don't think he'd be a regular rotation player, or maybe he would at like low minutes, but like guys do go down, guys do miss games, and just having him as a sort of just to fill a spot on the court, I think he could absolutely do for this team and play like in a similar vein as just like a high energy defensive wing that'll shoot a three if it's wide open. And we all know that Cade Cunningham gets guys wide open threes, right?
I think just a quick case in point is Garshan Yabusele, who was overseas for a considerable amount of time, came back and had an instant impact in the NBA. I think the exact same impact could be seen from Bonga and perhaps some other guys. But who you guys got next? I think Bonga, we're all in agreement, is a guy who could fill up a roster spot. Let's pick one guy out of our list to fill up our last roster spot.
All right.
Bonga's on the board. Who we got next, Connie?
My guy who really stood out to me when I watched Poland versus Slovenia, and he was just trading buckets with Luka Doncic, some tough buckets, was Jordan Lloyd. Jordan Lloyd, also a guy who had a very brief stint in the NBA, played one season, 18-19, played 12 games for the Toronto Raptors, spent a little bit of time in the G League where he balled out, but was I don't know if he's great for the Pistons because he is sort of that undersized, not undersized, but like scoring guard, similar vein as Marcus Sasser, but a guy that I do think could see the league.
What
Yeah,
you got any
nothing
numbers?
about that guy. I'll take
No
your word for it.
numbers. Oh boy. I think he averaged something like 20 a game. Um, uh, for Poland, hitting a lot of three pointers. Let's see here. Um, Jordan Lloyd, in EuroLeague here, he put up, yeah, 22 points a game, 2 rebounds, three rebounds, 2 assists. He shot 49% from the field, 42 from the three-point line, and 87 from the free throw. So like highly efficient, has done that pretty much wherever he goes, is very close to always being a 50, 40, 90 guy. Um, and I just feel like could get on some team and give him buckets in the midway throughout the season or something when things slow.
I mean, very impressive. Poland, I think, was not a favorite team at all to make it as far as they did.
They also
Obviously,
did not have Jeremy Sohan. He was injured.
that's right. I thought they had somebody else. But obviously, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to make an assumption. I don't know how, for lack of a better word, how Polish he is. So I think really like it shows a lot of leadership skills to take that team that far, which obviously is very important in the NBA, working with different people in the NBA and getting the most out of them. So absolutely, I think he's worthy. So many talented players.
All right, Gabe, you got another guy?
Yeah, this is a guy, kind of because we did lose Schluter, another little quick point guard guy, Shane Larkin. He got
Shane
Is he
Larkin.
on this team?
naturalized Turkish because he's been playing in, I think, Istanbul for the past 6 or 8 years, something like that. He was really good the whole tournament. I loved to watch him play. He had a really good two-man game with what's his face?
Uh,
The
Good.
Şengün?
Alfred, yeah, with him. He's a really good passer, really good three-point shooter. He's undersized for the NBA, but to just be like a Corey Joseph type of point guard with a little more spunk, I think that could be a role for him in the NBA. He's a good player, smart player, plays hard. Obviously, he and like that's a another guy. He was in the league earlier, and I think he broke his knee. Actually, I think I heard that, or his ankle, or like when he first had a chance to like play a lot of minutes. I think it was with the Mavs, so he never really got his feet under him in the NBA. But I do remember the name from back when he played, and he's just matured, played well. I think he could hang in the league. He'd probably be starting if he were like on Charlotte or some
Yeah, real quick,
put up like 18 points.
I have a quote for him. He was on the Celtics last.
Yeah,
Played for them in the playoffs, and when they let him go, he said, "I will not go back to the NBA as a third point guard. So if any team asks about that, we're not even going to answer the phone." So seems like that sort of Mirotic guy that would prefer to play in Europe and like actually play and be very significant rather than ride pine in the NBA.
that's fair. To
Uh,
be like a starter and like a guy who plays huge minutes, you can't turn that down a lot of times.
um, I have one more guy,
I was, yeah, I have some names as well I just want to throw out there,
who
but go ahead.
Yeah, I have a quick
base
question. I don't know if you guys are more familiar. I think he's a draft prospect. What is that Finnish guy's name?
Oh yeah, Mickey
The Slim
Murin.
Reaper, yeah.
Yeah.
Is he draft bound? Is he not?
He's going to college. He's right now he plays high school ball in Arizona.
Are you
The
serious?
he's
He's
a
a high schooler?
Yeah, he's a five-star prospect. I think he's looking at like all the big major basketball programs right now. But it looks like he's going to be a one and done. Yeah.
Super raw.
My last guy, who when I was watching him, this might not be a good case for him to be in the league, but when I was watching him, he's like a left-handed point guard who really distributes well, shoots a lot of mid-rangers, and has sort of a funky left-hand jumper. I'm like, this guy kind of looks like Killian Hayes out there. Um,
I have
but
another piston.
and that's
Sorry to interrupt.
who
Go ahead first.
Rokas Jokubaitis on Lithuania. He was their starting point guard. He plays for Maccabi Tel Aviv right now. He puts up about 11 three rebounds, four assists, shoots 40% from the three-point line on a pretty low volume, but hits his free throws really high as well. Um, Efficient guy, really skilled in the pick and roll, controls it well. Lefty, sort of an awkward game, but gets points and assists, sets his guys up. And he's like 24, hasn't had a chance in the league yet, and I think he could maybe do something. Yeah, I don't know if you guys watch any Lithuania, but
He did not.
and he was picked, um, originally drafted, and stashed by the Oklahoma City Thunder, which I think means something in 2021.
Gabe, who was that Piston that came to mind?
I saw the name and I swear that had a stint with us, or was like the last cut on our summer league one time. Rodion Kirks. I believe we picked him up over Joe Johnson. Is that right?
Who?
Rodion Kirks?
Rodion Kuruks.
Rodion Kurucs?
I have no clue who this guy is,
He plays
man.
for Latvia.
I think I think oh man, I think at least maybe my confusion is Musa? Was that his name? A
Uh,
wing white guy who we got from Brooklyn?
Maybe that was it.
Yeah,
Maybe that
yeah,
was it.
because he also played for Brooklyn, but we traded Bruce Brown for that guy.
Zanin
I
Musa,
hope that
yes.
might
Yeah,
be
yeah,
Zanin
yeah.
Musa.
Okay, yeah.
John,
Now
it was
Rodion Kirks.
John Musa, right?
Yeah, yeah. We traded Bruce Brown for him, but I don't think he was in EuroLeague. Yeah, okay, Gabe. Last couple names before we wrap it up. Just guys that you think could play in the league.
Uh, Musa was on the Bosnia roster. I
All
don't
right,
think they.
that
Yeah, he was in the
counts.
group chat. I think they made it to the group stage, but
That
did not
counts.
get past that. Yeah. Anyway, some guys I liked. The big guy Osmani on Turkey versus Greece. He had like a 6 for 6 3-point game. Really liked him. Um, Watching Valanciunas in the Euro ball is amazing because he just posts up every single time and he's just too big for everybody else on the court. Bosnia Herzegovina did pretty good actually, so they did qualify for the knockout. Those are the two main guys. Giannis
Okay, you think
played
Giannis
really
could make it
well.
in the league?
Look
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, I mean
Uh,
it was a nice little tournament. It got me a little bit of my basketball fix. I am absolutely fiending for even summer league to start. Pistons play their first game October 6th, which is about 3 weeks away. But I'm really ready for even just training camp to start and just to hear some Pistons news that we could talk about and get even more hyped up than I am right now. But that's where we'll leave it today. A little short pod. We'll
I
come
have
back.
two more quick things if you
Okay.
don't mind.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If you want to get more hype, watch the Ron Holland Pistons video that they dropped. Great video. Shout out to the Pistons dancers. They were also on Jimmy his show lately.
Hey,
And then you want to hear a little NBA joke?
Yeah.
What's a Shepherd's favorite NBA player?
Read.
No, Luke Mbamute.
Okay.
nice.
It's a good one. Gabe has been going insane in in Prague.
Yeah, I've been
Uh,
watching a lot of horse racing.
um, but all right, folks, we'll come back again when there's more stuff with the Pistons to talk about. But as of right now, we're all super high, got our off-season hype all the way up, and throw the buffs on, man, because the future is bright.